Hello, welcome to the Waka Show. I'm Whitey. I'm going to do a brief review of a film called Darkman, which came out in 1990. It was directed by Sam Raimi. I believe it's one of his early works. I should look into that, but I haven't. And then, dude, what's Homeboy's name? I'm suddenly blanking on it. Um, Yada yada yada. How am I? Liam Neeson. Bug me. So Liam Neeson's in this, and Francis McDermott from Fargo fame, Colin Friels, Larry Drake, the ominous, wonderfully ominous Larry Drake is in this. Is the henchman? Larry Friels is like the, if you've heard of Larry Friels, I hadn't until I saw this. Um, he plays the bad guy. So the story is the epitome of color by numbers plot. Okay, so there's a rich corporate guy and his goons, and they want to do something to build more buildings, and there's zoning issues inhibiting them from doing what they want to do. They're corrupt. They bribe cops and stuff. And so Liam Neeson is dating Frances McDermott. I think that's how you say her name, McDonald. The blonde. And she plays a lawyer, I think like a district attorney. She's investigating the bad guys. Somehow that leads back to Liam Neeson. They end up, he's on the verge of a discovery on how to create like an artificial skin or make more skin so that you can, if someone gets burned, you can fix them up with new skin. And he just realized through experiments that something about the light is making the cells fracture. So when it's dark, the cells don't fracture. And then the bad guys show up, kill his assistant, a lab tech, or whatever the case, and they try to kill him, but he ends up surviving. And so he uses his face is now all kinds of horrible looking, and he uses the technology he advances further to put on to make fake faces, just like in what's her name in the show. Oh, I shouldn't have brought that up because now I can't remember what it's called. Man, my brain is a mess. Anyway, he puts on a fake face and goes and gets revenge against the bad guys. So one by one, he shows up and as one of the bad guys, infiltrates what the bad guys are doing, turns them against each other. They end up killing a guy because he was supposed to make a drop and all that stuff. And he kills all the bad guys and gets the girl. And then Bruce Campbell's in there very briefly at the end. So he uses his science knowledge to make faces to disguise himself, not only because of the grotesque burns on his face and hands, but also, to go stop crime. It's the same plot as The Punisher. It's the same. It's Liam Neeson's whole career ever since. What's interesting about this is for 1990, it was the filmmaking. The story is just by the numbers. You've seen it on times. Trope. You could call this trope the movie before there was the word trope. But the filmmaking by Sam Raimi is very innovative. The acting is fine. It's not A plus work, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be. Like the performances are with the framework of what is effectively like a comic book or a superhero movie. I believe Darkman is based on a comic book. I could look that up. I didn't, but it's really hard to explain. It's just the editing technique for 1990. If I remember seeing this and enjoying it, and I had to be like 1990, 8 years old. So maybe I saw it on VHS when I was 10 years old. And I remember enjoying this film. So the effects and everything at the time had to be fair enough for a 10-year-old to go, yay, you got the bad guys. Um, and so it is interesting to watch the film for what they were doing with very little, it was mostly practicals that I could tell. And so how they edited stuff together to make the scenes work, and he's wearing somebody else's face. So, of course, a number of times he's standing in front of the guy, who he's wearing a mask that looks just like that guy, and they've got the screen cut in half. So when they meet in the middle, it's two dudes looking at each other, looking at doing, hey, you know what I'm talking about. So it was interesting. It was interesting to skip around because I didn't watch the whole movie. But it's Darkman. Liam Neeson's in a revenge film. I should do my homework. Is this the first time Liam Neeson was in a revenge film? It wasn't, because he was in Next of Kin. And I'm gonna look up. I should look up. I think that was more late '80s as opposed to early '90s. So I think he'd already been in a revenge film, but it wasn't a one-man wrecking machine like this. It was Liam Neeson and Patrick Swayze going to get revenge on the Italian mob for killing their brother, Bill Paxton. Oh my God, the dude! The saying, if I had a nickel for every time that happened to me, he makes a few $1,000,000 every time he's in a revenge film. Good for him. But it's just like, bro, do something else with your career. He's a talented actor. Just ended up doing the same kind of film over and over again. Let's see where. Oh my gosh, I should do my homework. He was in Of Mice and Men? Oh no, I saw him on stage in Mice and Men. No. Darkman. Bah, I'm not seeing it on here. Damn you, Wikipedia, you failed us all. Filmography. And it's got to be long because it's been in 100 freaking movies on the low end. Okay, so the Deadpool? Huh. Next of Kin came out right before Darkman. It came out in '89, and Darkman came out in '90. So he'd already done a revenge film. And then Liam Neeson's in The Deadpool. I'm going to read this. The Deadpool is a 1988 American action thriller film directed by Buddy Van Horn, written by Stephen Schron, also starring Clint Eastwood as Inspector Dirty Harry Callahan. Huh. I didn't know that. I don't watch movies. It is the fifth and final film of the Dirty Harry film series and is set in San Francisco, California. The story concerns the manipulation of a Deadpool game by a serial killer whose efforts are confronted by hardened detective Callahan. It co-stars Liam Neeson and Patricia Clarkson, with Jim Carrey in his first dramatic role. And I've never seen it before and had no clue. I didn't even know Jim Carrey worked with, holy cow, okay, Liam Neeson. And, great. I gotta go check out the Deadpool now. And that's probably where the comic books got influenced. So that's it here for the Darkman. It's an early Sam Raimi picture. It's got levity, it's got action, it's got drama, it's got romance. It's a cookie cutter fucking movie, but the effects will make up for it, I guess. So go check out Darkman. That's it. With Liam Neeson in a revenge film. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Cheers.